Yeah, I'll keep it nice, simple, and sweet for everyone. So we kind of touched upon it earlier. So why is it so important to have, a relationship with your bank, right? Sounds kind of simple. And I know everywhere you go, you kind of hear it like, oh yeah, we got you. And then you go in, you do your thing, and you never hear from them again. So where I find M&T really differs a lot is you have a lot of access to a lot of resources. So as a big business, some of these conglomerates out there, they have tons and tons of resources, right, that they pay for. With us, it's big and small. So you're a small business, you have me, you have a business banker, and if there's anything I don't know, I have my resources. So what's interesting is when we meet with people, we try to find out how the business runs, where do you do well, where are your pain points, because what we find with a lot of small businesses is they're really good at what they do, or else, right, they wouldn't be in business. But where we come in is we help with the banking because we find a lot of small businesses and there's a lot of misconceptions, myths, everything out there about how banking works, right? A lot of it is, oh, I just put my money in, that's all you want. No, actually, for us, we want the relationship. We don't want just someone coming in and just putting money in and we never hear from again. It's honestly more about how we can help you. It's not about, generating numbers and commission and things like that. For me, it's more of figuring out how we can help you grow, how we can help you stabilize, how we can get you to that next level. So running into some businesses recently, um, just, ran into a guy who's purchasing, a truck, right? So how do we help him with that? Obviously, you do a loan, but when you're asking him more questions, you find out that there's other things he's trying to get, right? Or he's got things out there with such high rates that you're like, well, consolidate it, get a better rate, get a lower rate. It just, it's just kind of makes sense. But a lot of times businesses are so busy, they just don't have time for this stuff. So that's where we step in. So what we'll do is we kind of handle just about everything from, soup to nuts. So working with a lot of clients, for instance, you go to the deli, you go to a bakery, wherever, and you're swiping your card, right? And nowadays, especially, they're charging you an extra, what, 20 cents, 4%, a dollar, whatever it may be. One of the things M&T does very well because it's in-house is we actually have a merchant program. So what we'll do is we'll actually take your statements, review them, and see if we can beat it. And if not, then you're back to where you started. But it's free. It's literally a complimentary review. And what's great about it is when you do a lot of merchant, a lot of them are, I found, fly by night services, right? They come in, they get out, you never hear from them again. You have issues, you just send us a email. We're there to help. That's really our whole goal, is to help. So where we come in a lot of times, I find with the businesses is, um, they go, well, I'm closer to this place, I'm closer to that place. I go, that's fine. You can keep them. We, bring it over, let us have the relationship, let us do the heavy lifting. And if you need that closer bank to help you out with stuff, that's fine. But where we're really here is to understand how your business works and how we can help. And with small businesses, I find that's what they really, really need. And I touched upon it before, is the last year or two has been pretty crazy, as we can all say. So with the PPP loans, M&T Bank had, it was around 97% success rate, and 90% of those were small businesses. So if any of you guys own a small business, you may have remembered how hard it was or how difficult it was to get a PPP loan, or the runaround you may have gotten. The way we handled it was all hands on deck. So um, managers, we had our laptops, and it was interesting. So I'll just use Chris here, for example. Say, we saw his application. He forgot to sign something. He forgot to put a number. He didn't go to the back of the deck. It was, hey, I know Chris. He's in my branch. Let's give him a call. Tell him to fill this out, because it was kind of a race, right, to the end. Nobody knew how this thing was going to work, how much money was left. So, like I said, it's really about the relationship right from the beginning to the end, where you may want to sell your business down the road. we're there to help. So that's kind of my spiel. I know it wasn't the 7 minutes, but if anyone has any questions or anything, please.
Before questions, let me just jump in on that scenario. So I've been an M&T customer for a long time, and I remember when Randy was new and he helped me out so much, and him and Jen have been wonderful. And when the PPP thing was going on and COVID was, we were still wearing gloves kind of thing. Nobody really knew what was happening yet. And yeah, I missed something on the form. I forget exactly what it was, but they had me come in and go through the drive-through where they could send it down the tube, I think, or somewhere where I could sign it and everybody was safe, but we didn't know what we didn't know then. And but it all worked. But it just showed they cared. And I remember my very last networking event before COVID was at their branch. And that was also interesting. They brought in all the heavies, and you guys have come to our trade shows and brought in big management people and clients. And it is a community. And even though I've moved, I've stayed with M&T. And that is my plan for the future. It's a community type bank, if that makes sense, on a business level.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, and it's actually one of our key things is community. So when you go to a strip mall, and especially now, I guess it's a little bit worse, but you go to a strip mall and it's got, I don't know, 7, 8 businesses, right? And 3 or 4 of those aren't operating. Well, it's not good for the community. It's not good for anyone. So for us, supporting the community and making sure those businesses, we can help them out and hopefully, get them up and running, or maybe a new person goes in there. Because when your community does well, everyone else does well. When you go to, where I'm at in downtown Denville, especially in the spring, summer, I mean, it's bustling all the time. And I can't imagine if, all those stores were shut down, what it'd look like. It'd be a ghost town. And that's not good for anybody, because if, the store next to you is closed and the store on the left and right are both closed, I mean, it hurts. It hurts. So that's really one of our big things. And also too, a lot of it is volunteering time in the community, not just for businesses, but nonprofits. And, every weekend I feel like we're doing something for, maybe a food pantry or clothing drive, just something to that effect. So for the bank, it's not all about dollars, right? It's about helping out your community and the people around you.
Hey, Randy, you guys should have a blood drive.
I should ask about that. I think somebody has done one. We're not like the bank sponsors it, but per se, but I think they've worked with organizations where they do blood drives. They haven't been as popular, obviously because of COVID, but I'm hoping as we're, fingers crossed, we're getting out of the pandemic, we could do something like that. That's a good idea. So anyone has any questions, please let me know. And if you can't think of anything now and you have something later, please shoot me an email. I'm always open for one-to-ones, anything. So just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you, Randy.
Good job, Randy.
Mhm.